Good evening. Police are tonight questioning one person about the murder of Nottingham teenager Danielle Beckin. Throughout the day, flowers have been laid at the spot where she was gunned down in a drive-by shooting. Danielle's friends, who were with her when the crime took place, have spoken of their shock and anger. She was beautiful, they said. How could she deserve to get shot? Here's Philip Ray-Smith.
At the spot where Danielle Beckin was killed, there are tributes and there's anger. The 14-year-old died from a single gunshot to the abdomen in front of a group of her friends.
I was with her at the time. And she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that at all. She was a young 14-year-old girl.
Innocent girl.
You get me? How can she deserve to get shot by the...
She was beautiful.
The killers need to get... They need to get
a life sentence, yeah.
Throw away the key.
Throw away the key. Whoever it is, Dan.
Members of her family visited the scene of the drive-by shooting, too upset to talk. But a message from her mother read, "Our hearts are broken." And Nottingham knows the heartache caused by gangland drug crime all too well. But this latest attack, whatever its motive, has left residents here shocked.
I think they're wrong. They're wrong to do this to a poor little girl just coming home from the fair. Nearly home, she isn't far from home. To shoot her down like that.
Nottinghamshire police have revealed they've arrested an individual in connection with Danielle's death. The search for a motive is now the focus of their inquiries.
Many people have been brave enough to come forward so far and support the community and support our investigation to catch the killers of Danielle. However, there are people with vital information who are yet to contact us. Please do so now.
Officers have described Danielle as an 14-year-old girl. For her family, the senselessness of her death can only add to the pain. Philip Ray-Smith, ITV News.
Our report out tomorrow will confirm that Britain is facing a pensions crisis. The Pensions Commission will say that Britons are saving £57 billion too little every year for their retirement. It says we'll face a choice between higher taxes, more savings or later retirement. An abortion charity says it's done nothing wrong by advising women to have late terminations abroad. The move bypasses UK law, which prohibits abortions beyond 24 weeks. And Prince Harry has strongly denied he cheated in his A-levels. A former teacher at Eton has claimed she was asked to help the prince improve his coursework. She's suing the college for unfair dismissal. The Canadian submarine that faced disaster in the Irish Sea has finally arrived at a naval base in Scotland. The 54-man crew are recovering from an ordeal that saw them trapped at the mercy of stormy seas. One of their number died in a fire, but it's becoming clear it could have been much worse. Here's Martin Geisler.
Had things gone to plan, the submarine Chicoutimi would have been somewhere under the mid-Atlantic this evening en route to its new home in Canada. Instead, it was towed ignominiously above water back up the Firth of Clyde. The vessel, one of 4 Canada bought from Britain, was handed over last weekend. But just one day into the voyage to Nova Scotia, a fire broke out on board. 9 of the crew were injured. 1 man has since died. Another remains in intensive care. The rescue operation, conducted largely in atrocious conditions, involved more than 100 staff from the Royal Navy and their Canadian counterparts, many pushing their expertise to its limits.
As we head towards Faslane, there's a growing sense of relief as this mission nearly comes to its end, and a degree of elation, but all of this, of course, is tinged with enormous sadness as we remember Lieutenant Chris Saunders, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and his crewmates in Chicoutimi.
For the 54 crewmen still aboard the Chicoutimi, most of the last week has been spent in hot, dark, desperately uncomfortable conditions on a rough sea. For them, at least, this episode is now drawing to a close. Tonight, they're back at Faslane, where their journey began, making way for those who try to establish exactly what went wrong. There'll be questions too for the governments on both sides of the Atlantic. All 4 subs in this deal had problems. The whole affair has cost the Canadian government £290 million and one of its sailors his life. Martin Geisler, ITV News, Faslane.
Finally, the memory of Ken Bigley shone brightly today in churches across the country. At Liverpool Cathedral, worshippers lit candles to commemorate the life of the engineer murdered by his kidnappers in Iraq. The priest there spoke for all when he called on his congregation to rise above the violence and the barbarism. Well, that's it. For all the team here, a very good night. Goodbye.
ITV National Weather, sponsored by Powergen.
Hello there. Well, we've got cloud and patchy rain on the cards for the southwest of the country. There is some cloud around elsewhere too, and perhaps one or two spots of rain for eastern Scotland. But the further west you go, the clearer the skies become. And as a result, temperatures will take a bit of a tumble, down to close to freezing, in fact. So we could find some frost up here and also some mist patches forming. Now, it's going to be windy overnight tonight, and wind is one of the main features of tomorrow's weather, in fact, particularly through the Channel, where that brisk breeze is going to be blowing in from the east. And as far as tomorrow's weather goes then, we've got more cloud and patchy rain for the southwest, some cloud again up the east coast here, and despite the fact that there is a good deal of sunshine on offer, temperatures aren't going to get much above 14 degrees Celsius, and all of that with that brisk breeze blowing in from the east, it will feel quite chilly. A very good night to you.
Positive energy from Powergen.
She's queen of the track, an Olympic diva, an army of admirers, a body to die for, and all this in just a tracksuit. She's going from the racetrack to the red carpet, and she hasn't got a thing to wear. With GMTV's help, can Kelly Holmes strike gold in the fashion stakes? Find out Monday on LK Today.